Awesome. The ancient cell phone is working. This is great. Okay, how's it going today? My name is Rob. You're in my garage. It's a cluttered place, but it's an organized place. But that's not the important part. The reason why we're here today is because I wanted to talk to you about the Fiat 500. Ta-da! This is my Fiat 500, obviously. It is tucked away in my garage. I've squeezed it in here, even though there's infinite clutter in this little space. There's one of the key good points about this car is it can fit anywhere. See? There's an example right there. Anyways, I want to take a couple minutes and talk to you about the top 10 reasons why you should look into possibly buying a Fiat 500. I have a list here, all right, so I don't forget anything, and we're going to jump right into it. Okay, reason number one, I think it looks great. I think it's a beautiful car. I think it's designed with a lot of taste, a lot of class, and they've done a lot with such a small car. They've packed a lot of beautiful lines and beautiful designs into this car, inside and out. I think it's just a good-looking car all around, and I think most people agree with the fact that this is a very good-looking car. Reason number two, it is tiny. It fits anywhere, and here's an example. This is taking up a quarter of my garage. Now, this is not the smallest garage, probably like a medium-sized garage, but it's a single bay garage. And as you can see, it's only taking up half of it, or a quarter of it, right? I can walk past it, there's a fridge next to it. I mean, this is pretty impressive that you can stick a car in the garage and still have like a lot of space in the garage, right? Super easy to park. When you go into any busy city, this is the car you want to be in, okay? Because you can fit in spots that most people can't. And that's such a good feeling when you can pull into like a busy street and you find that tiny little spot and you're like, oh, that's mine, I'm taking that. It just feels good to have that accessibility with a small car like this. Reason number three, it is very economical in every way. Fuel efficiency is really good. I average about 35 miles per gallon with this. This is the non-turbo version. It's just a 1.4 liter naturally aspirated engine. The lowest power one, but I wasn't looking for power when I bought this car. I was looking for quirkiness and efficiency. So that's why I got this. So it's very economical, super cheap to fuel up, pretty cheap to repair. Parts are not super hard to find yet, because Fiat is pulling out a couple models from the US. This is one of them. I don't know what the other one is. I think it's the 500X. I'm not sure. So anyways, it's very cheap to operate. It's cheap to repair. The insurance is super cheap. That's always a plus, right? Excise tax is pretty low. It's almost laughable how low it is. I think the town values the car at like $1,500 or $2,000, something like that. So it's always nice to save some money, right? Okay, reason number four to buy a Fiat 500. It's actually a comfortable car. A lot of people ask me, is the car comfortable? Because it's so tiny, they figure it can't be that comfortable inside. The front two seats are great. They're decent. I've taken this car on many long trips, a couple hundred miles here and there. And, even after driving it for 4 or 5 hours straight, I feel good. I'm a guy in my 40s, and I'm always looking for a comfortable place to sit. So this car definitely is a comfortable car for its size, for the price point. Very comfortable, even after 3-4 hours, 5 hours straight driving. It's good. Okay, reason number five why you should buy a Fiat 500 is it's surprisingly practical. Even though it's small, okay, not the tiniest car on the road, but very small. If you put the rear seats down, you've got enough room to do whatever you need. A trip to Costco, hardware store. I've even brought home a 60, no, it wasn't 60. I think it's a 50 or 40 gallon water heater in this vehicle. I went to pick it up at a plumbing supply store. And when I showed up, the guy who's selling me the water heater says, "You're gonna put the water heater in this car?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, no problem. I measured it all out, it's no problem." Put the rear seats down, fit it right in, no problem. They were definitely impressed. Some of them took some pictures. I was even impressed that it fit perfectly. But the point is, with the rear seats down, this car has enough room for whatever you need. Reason number 6, this is a quick one. It's a simple vehicle, okay? Very simple, very streamlined. No goofy technology, no computer screens, no nothing. Just a radio, the odometer, the tachometer, that's it. I love it. Simplicity is great. I think it makes for a safer drive, right? Because you're just focusing more on the actual drive and the road. And I don't know, just less distractions. I feel like there's a lot of distractions in modern cars. This doesn't have any. It's great. You can really focus on the drive and enjoy the physics of the drive. It's just fantastic. Number 7, this car is so cheap to buy. This thing has about, I think, 65,000 miles on it. And you could pick one of these up on Craigslist for 5,000, maybe 4,500. Depends on how beat up it is. But yeah, just the point is so cheap. You can get such a well put together car, and I really do mean that. I feel like Fiats have been getting a bad rap. People poop on the reliability. They say the engine's no good, or it's just unreliable in general. I've had this car for like 2.5 years, maybe three years, I think, and it's never let me down. I've taken it everywhere. I've honestly never had. Let me just find some wood here. Knock on wood. It's never let me down. So I think these are reliable cars, and they're well-designed cars. The number 8 reason why you should look into the Fiat 500. It's a relatively safe car. Obviously not as safe as a larger sedan, right? But for its size, it gets a pretty good rating on the IIHS website. I remember before I bought this car, I looked into the ratings for the safety, and they weren't terrible. They were actually pretty good. There's airbags wherever they need to be. There's a knee airbag. There's side airbags, curtain airbags, whatever airbags that they put in these cars now. It's all there. And if you look it up online, you can look up the NCAP ratings and the IIHS ratings. You won't be disappointed. It's as safe as a small car like this can be. All right, number 9 reason. I think I already kind of mentioned this, but it is relatively reliable. I really haven't had any major issues with it over the course of my ownership with it. A lot of people, like I said, they kind of knock on this car because it's a Fiat, and it's basically a Chrysler, I haven't had any major issues with it, and I am very on top of the maintenance for it, so maybe that's part of the reason why. But I feel like, you shouldn't discount this vehicle just because you've heard that it's not reliable. It is a reliable car. Most cars can be reliable if you're taking care of them properly. You're getting to the maintenance on time and making sure the oil's changed on time, all that jazz. Number 10 reason why you should buy a Fiat 500, it is a ton of fun for the money. Okay, I mentioned before you can pick these up for very little. For $4,000 or $5,000, I think it's a good value. It's a ton of fun. Even this one, it's a good time wherever I go, okay? Especially when you get to twisty back roads. It's just so small. You can toss it around. It just a well-sorted machine. This is not even a sporty version. It's just like the basic hop, right? It's like the most basic one you can buy, and it's still a ton of fun. I really have a good time driving this car anytime I'm driving it, even if it's down to the grocery store. This is the 5-speed, so clearly that makes a big difference. If you do get one of these, avoid getting an automatic version, okay? Obviously the 5-speed is more fun. The 5-speed is more reliable for sure, and you are going to get a little more efficiency out of the manual. So that's the only real tip I would have is like find the 5-speed version of this. If you can find the Abarth version, go for that because you got way more power. Those are pushing 160 horsepower, where this is pushing only 99. So anyways, those are my top 10 reasons why you should look into buying a Fiat 500. I honestly do love this car, and I'm planning to keep it for as long as I can, just because it's just so, I don't know, there's just something about it. I mean, look at it. It's such a goofy car. Now that Fiat's pulling them out of the US, geez, 10 years from now, this might actually become something cool. Who knows? We'll see. So anyways, okay, thank you for watching, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that helps.